Hi everyone, I'm Scott Schneider. Welcome to the channel. Well, it looks like there's some movement going on after the Bose acquisition of McIntosh. Stick around. Well, before I can get my next video completed, it looks like there's some more news to report. Strategy has reported that Bose McIntosh Group has terminated its independent sales reps. This looks like a pretty big shakeup. This came out earlier, about 3 days ago, it looks like. So based on this article, it looks like the McIntosh Group, which is now owned by Bose, has terminated their independent manufacturer reps. And those reps have been around for a very long time in some locations, but unfortunately they are going to be terminated as of January 31st. So the end of this month, essentially. Seems like, this took quite a few by surprise because a lot of these folks have been doing this job and representing McIntosh for not just a few years, but for decades. But, it's kind of something that we should expect. Change is somewhat always expected anytime there's an acquisition. But it does align with Bose. Apparently Bose, I think we're not surprised, has always had factory direct salespeople. And this was probably not something that any of us should be surprised about. Acquisitions always look for opportunities to cut costs, and there were probably some redundancies there. So at least from their perspective, and they've gone through and made this change. So the reps, the independent reps anyway, will no longer be associated with McIntosh, by the end of the month. Now, according to the article, McIntosh had already started moving in that direction some time ago. With implementing sort of a hybrid model, and that they had some factory direct reps, and then they maintained quite a few independent reps. I have a feeling it's probably based on location, area, relationships that were established over a period of time, but they were sort of in that process already. So this sort of just completed it. And now after January 31st, it will completely be factory direct salespeople who will communicate directly with locations that are selling the McIntosh line. Now, in case this is confusing for you, I'm a very graphic person, so I thought I'd sort of put this out in a graphics to understand what this actually means. So for McIntosh and for really any company, if you sell something, you either hire your own people to sell it or you hire other people to sell it for you. And so in the case of McIntosh, they had people that worked directly for them. They had their own sales reps, and those sales reps went out to the stores and sold the lines to them, and those stores placed orders to those sales reps. But in addition to that, they also had, and what traditionally they had before, they had independent salespeople. So these are salespeople that probably don't represent McIntosh alone. They probably represent many other brands. They're probably, in the electronics or audio industry. They may be in several types of high-tech products, but probably specialize in audio. And they go out and represent these different companies and get a commission for anything they sell. So in McIntosh's case, they had actually both types of sales reps, and they would go out and represent the companies. Well, Bose has only had Bose direct salespeople, and those salespeople work for Bose, and then they go out and sell the products. Now, they probably are dealing with a different level of retailer, probably more national sales chains, those sorts of things, whereas the McIntosh team was most likely going with smaller independent shops just because of the nature of the product line. So what Bose has done now, it looks like they're just getting rid of at least the independent sales group and going to pull all of those sales into their own sales teams. And there'll probably be some combination of, bringing them together into maybe not the same sales force, but probably some sales structure perhaps. And all of that is in an effort to do some cost savings in most cases. So at some point in the future, we may see, in some cases, a sales rep who represents both lines for their respective customers. So someone may have, let's say, a national chain of some sort, and they want to bring in both lines. Let's assume that there is a higher end McIntosh product that might suit itself to, some national brand. I'm thinking of, maybe a higher end store of some sort, which I can't even really represent what that is at the moment. But maybe there's some store out there that makes sense, at least in the future, or at least maybe in their eyes. But at the moment, it looks like this is what's happening, a consolidation of the sales force. The article does go on to say that at the moment, there's no plans to change the manufacturing location, the headquarters there, everything else, at least based on what they've shared anyway, is staying the same other than this one change. But as we should expect, these things are going to happen, and it's the nature of acquisition. You do have certain redundancies, and they're all about making the most profit that they can, and those things are going to happen. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. It's been buzzing around for a couple of days that this was happening, and what does it really mean? Well, we can read only so much into it. Bose hasn't released additional comments, but I think it mostly speaks for itself. That's it for this moment. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't want to miss the next update. Hit subscribe, hit that notification bell also, and give us a thumbs up while you're there. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.